Brent because I never thought that I would actually be trekking through this and actually working for it. And when everyone actually did some of that this weekend, and that was really nice. It wasn't just like, oh, let's just sit around and let's just fill our bellies with great food.
Drink booze.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was actually like work, and I saw the motivation in Brent and that addiction that he was speaking towards earlier, and how he truly felt that like he needs this definitive, he needs an answer, for himself. And when you just look and boom, he's gone because he's working for it. He's looking, he's doing what he can with what his limited resources are, with what his equipment will do. And it was a real treat to be able to actually just go out in the woods and just go out with you. And it was awesome. And,
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's and then the attitudes of people. No one rained on anyone's parade while I was here. And this is the first time where I've actually come into a group and I'm the puppy of the group here. And I'm this guy that's learning all this stuff. And, everyone that's a little bit more seasoned.
Your first time out is with this man here.
Yeah, it's awesome. But when I came here and I met everybody, because I know none of you in person at all. This is very fresh and place that me and have been talking for a few years. But when I came out here, no one looked at me differently because I didn't know anything about this subject. Like, oh yeah, well whatever, because we've got a little bit more experience than you, and it's all like dead weight. I wasn't looked at like that. I was accepted and treated with respect, and I hope I didn't offend anybody here. I'm pretty sure I didn't. But I just truly thought it was such a great experience to see that everyone was motivated by the subject. Everyone really takes it actually, not as a joke, they take it seriously, they take it to heart. Why would you fly here? Why would you fly here if you didn't? It was not just some camping trip. This is like a great meet and greet. Obviously, you wanted to cement that friendship, and I remember you saying, I just can't wait to get a hug from my buddy Jay and stuff. But, it makes it so real that it was worth every drop of gas coming out here. Coming out, finding something I couldn't explain, something I've never seen before, knowing myself and my collective knowledge of the woods and seeing something on the ground. And then walking with Jen and there's trails out there, but no one was afraid to just, to hell with it, we're going off trail, we were pushing through it. It made everything worth it. I don't care if my legs hurt, I don't care that I'm tired. I feel if I wouldn't have done this, I would have truly missed out on something great.
Yep.
And I'm so happy I was able to come, and I made the decision. It's like, I am going to do this. And if I wouldn't have done this and not seen what I've seen and heard what we heard and stuff out here, I would have just been that guy just sitting at home on my computer having a beer and just going, yeah, whatever, And to hear this collective experiences and collective stories is probably the most interesting thing. And when as a Minnesotan, most of us are all fishermen, and I'm sure you all know, like, when you're in the boat, and you catch a fish and it's this big, but by the time you get to the bar, it's this big.
Yep.
Out here, that story never changed. It doesn't matter. No one did that out here. And any conversation, it was always just straight, direct, to the point, and it wasn't bullshit or whitewashed. It was just true.
Promise will beat you.
It was just true to the point, and I greatly respect everybody here, and I appreciate that everyone's input and their honesty, and I think you're all great people.
I think we all agree that right away, I don't remember who I was talking to, I said, that Dakota guy, I like him. He fits right in.
Yeah.
He's already one of us. And I'm so glad.
Right on.
Nikki, I was impressed with, you got bad knees. You're like a champ, boy.
Yeah, you're a go-getter.
You're almost forceful. We're going, Brent. Let's go.
For real.
Yeah, it was quite
Out there at nighttime.
I was into this 8 years before I saw my first possible track. Your first trip, Michael.
Yeah, I was within like 15 minutes of getting out of the truck. Something like that.
There's gonna be something.
Gonna solve this bad boy in no time.
I have to say.
Give it next year.
This last night, Brent and I went off on our own and did a different trail that we'd never done.
Yeah, it scared us a little. You guys were gone a little bit longer. That scared us a little bit. We're
Yeah,
like, oh,
scared us too. We were like, this is a little longer than we wanted, but we were like, no turning back now.
Started point when we went up, and then we came back to this one, and then I don't know, something spooked you, and you got in front. I remember, and we're going down, and we found a lot of interesting things. But I have to say that trail right there at night is scary. That one right there. That just
Especially when it starts closing in on you, like
yeah, it's
slowly
I don't
closing,
I don't like that at all.
where something can just grab you right there.
But it was a really cool experience because it tested me. I don't know if Brent could feel that, but
Oh yeah.
I thought I saw some eye shine. There was a situation, and I'm like, this is what people do. They say, look it, see that? Oh, it's gone. And I go, the one thing I hate the most is when people do that, and then they don't go see what it was. So, just out of nowhere, I don't know what, but I charged right up into no trail. Okay,
For real, in the dark too.
Nikki being a badass.
It was dark.
It was dark.
pitch black.
All right, I'm taking Mickey elk hunting with me then.
But I put
Well, she kept
my
trying to give me a
camera-
heart attack the first night.
Yeah, I did. But I had my camera placed right on what I was seeing, you know? And as I got close, it wasn't even 5-7 feet in. And it came up to a leaf, to a little flowery thing that was shimmering in the light. It appeared to be 10-15 feet back, what I was looking at, because it's an illusion, right? You're walking and your eyes are adjusting to the light, and I'm like, whoa. You know, you stop and you look, and is that a blink? You know? And then your heart starts racing, and then you sit for a while and nothing's happening, and you have to think logically, you know? No. Real beings blink and they move, and there's something else there. And you go check, go look. If you know, it's either going to come towards you or away from you.
Yep.
And I did, and it was a good feeling because then I wasn't scared after that. It was a little ways down, but after that I was like, I was okay. Until Brent does his, what did I call him? His quick stops. He'll be walking and he'll, you know, and then I'm like, okay.
Sometimes I just do that just to let you keep up or catch up, or I don't want to walk too far ahead or something.
Or let me know that there's like a
Oh, that
step.
big drops.
Yeah. He just goes and, you know, and I'm coming and woo, there's a big step.
And just so everyone knows, like anyone that does ever walk this, so like the public that views this, there isn't a stoplight, there isn't a city light, there isn't anything for miles and miles and miles. It is, when it's dark out here, it's dark out here. So there is no interference with light anywhere around this area. It's gone. It's not like, oh, there's a 7-Eleven up there. There is not.
No light pollution up here at all.
No, you are out here. It's a trek to get back to town and everything. It's a slow process, and there is no like, oh yeah, they're not that far off grid or anything. No, you're in it. And for anyone that does watch this, and I hope they understand that my truck had to work for it to get up these hills. You know, all of our vehicles did. It's just the way it is.
It's a 20-minute drive to get a bar.
She didn't even
no
get
sir.
20 minutes. I was like 45. Shoot.
I got 2 bars just to let a message out. Hey,
I always thought, well, you know, sometimes something 8 foot tall, 8.5 feet tall, to a witness, it appears a lot taller because it's terrifying. Yeah. But it always struck me as odd why Alberta had such a high percentage of extremely tall reports, and why were they all within an 80-mile radius of the Bighorn Dam?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you had reports of 8 foot, 7 foot creatures at the same time, as well as these. And everywhere else in the province along the Rocky Mountain foothills, 7 foot, 8 foot. But in this one area, between 1948 and 1984, there was a number of reported sightings of 12-foot creatures, 13-foot creatures, and one case 15-foot creatures. Ron Gamel said he saw 2 of them cross the road, and both of them were over 13 feet tall. And that was in 1973. But the interesting thing, after 1984, they stopped. Reports of 7 foot, 8 foot creatures kept going, but all the extreme height reports stopped. I always wondered why. Yeah. Did they have just a number of them that were extremely big that lived out their lives? Maybe gone or moved on, who knows? It just always struck me as weird that all these reports were in the same general vicinity of the province. Yeah. And they started in 1948, and the last one was 1984.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Maybe we should start up some rumors over there.
That's hoaxing, sir. Don't do that.
Well, it's like as far as hoaxing goes, even if you're going to show somebody something, like me and Chuck Slobs discussed some years back, we wanted to show how easy it is to hoax, so we were going to make a video of how easy that is. And then at the last minute, I backed out and I told them, listen, if we do this, then nobody will ever trust us. Even though we're doing it as a learning tool, nobody will ever trust us. So,
Yeah, because in this research, there's one golden rule, only one. Thou shalt not hoax. Not ever. That is a joke.
not even as a joke.
Yeah.
Not like you spooking Nikki, you know, jumping out.
But that wasn't Sasquatch,
That's
that
not
was just me
Sasquatch.
being an asshole.
And you will soon see that. I have it on camera. That this man is not just a great researcher, investigator, but he's a funny guy.
Prankster.
He's a really
It's
time
always been
prankster.
funny. I've laughed at
And
you
he probably
forever.
scared me a dozen times out there.
The pumpkin head.
I'll get the pumpkin head story tonight for y'all.
Yes.
Here for over a month. I mean, they were interacting, didn't give a shit who was standing out here, these Sasquatch. This was going to be done like in a week or so. I'll just call these guys or send them a letter, and you'll be so disappointed when you meet all these people that you thought were the experts in the field.
I
Which
don't
are
have
no
to meet them.
experts.
That's what I got you guys for.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what-
that's
what
but
I'm
I mean, I was
saying.
just like, I was so disenchanted, so disheartened that I'd have Cliff Brockman just walk away from me while I'm trying to tell him what I've told all of you. I was like, I was stunned. We just went. I told Mondo, let's just go home. You know, I was like, wow. Dr. Meldrum with type of thing. I was just like, wow. They did. The only person that cared was Ron Moorhead, and then he got called up on the stage. So that was it.
I interviewed you right here last night. Both of us did.
Yeah.
We did have questions, and you answered them.
Yeah, I appreciate that too, because that was the way you guys handled it too was great. And the one reason I hate the orb part of it is nobody seems to get it, and I get a little bit short when we were at that Woo conference, and I didn't know it was Woo, but I'm telling this person, yeah, it was like this, exactly what I told you guys. And they're like, oh, like a baseball? And I was like, no, it was a bubble Oh, more like a softball. I'm like, Jesus Christ! Was it blue? I already said it was red. and these people, Samara Tarpening, she shows me these pictures of
Well, you gave a
she's
good
dancing
description.
with orbs, but they're dust. They're dust. She's like orbs like these, and I was like, no, for fuck's sakes, no.
Yeah.
It was like a kid took one of those big bubble wands and went like that. It was about that long, and it acted like a bubble, a soap bubble.
Yeah, like
And
it didn't
that
have any,
just
like there's
drove
no
me
physics
nuts.
or gravity to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're not listening. You know, it's like wow, I just said this over and over and over again, and these people, oh, more like a golf ball, more like a football, more like, and so I said, yeah, football. I stuck with football. Yeah, it's more like a football. Like Jesus, they wanted to tell me what they wanted.
To hear.
Yeah, I was just like, and I got it right away. I was like,
No, we're sort of trying for you to alter your story to fit their narrative.
oh,
That's
and
not
Arla.
where yeah, that's not research says.
Arla Colette Williams telling me you must have interrupted one of their ceremonies, and so I was like, oh,
Arla
okay,
Williams?
oh yeah, Arla Colette Williams, and then she tells me, Kashima tells me that the man is this and that, you know, and I was like, who's Kashima? Oh, that was the pet one. That's her mentor, the Sasquatch, and so she writes clever things on the internet every day that Kashima tells her. But she tells me when I was telling her, well, then the female's back there just screaming at the male, and she's like, oh no, they would never do that, you know. She basically raised one, of course. You know. She's got a drawing that she calls a picture.
Enoch.
Yeah. So yeah, Monda just said she stayed in the hotel room the whole weekend. She was in there maybe 20, 30 minutes. She's like, I'm out of here. Me, I'm all googly-eyed, you know, like, wow, I didn't know they did that. Wow, you know. This one guy from Canada, his whole hour was probably 5,000 pictures of glyphs. Just, and this one means hello, and this one means stay out. And this one means, you know, and I'm just like, what? That's
That
what
sounds like Tom Cottrell.
well, no, Tom Cottrell's turn he got up there with his walker, and he talked about the how he goes to their the meetings. The Sasquatch hold a meeting every 7 years in Canada. All the Sasquatch from America, Nova Scotia, they all meet in Canada, someplace in the woods up there, and he gets his vision of it, and then he.
Now you know why it's so hard to get a flight in San Jose.
Oh yeah, he hitchhikes, takes a train, takes a bus, and here's a man who's he's very decrepit, and his imagination is wonderful. But he's standing up there. He can tell you about the blue-eyed one that was given to one of the princes of the Sasquatch for his wife, and then these ones can get married too, but only these two can breed to have children, so that way they keep the population down. And he got to witness the birth of royal Sasquatch twins, because he's invited to that every 7 years by the Sasquatch in his mind, and he goes. And the women out in the audience, when he's talking about one was a boy and one was a girl, the royal Sasquatch twins, and the girls are out in the audience, women. Aww. I'm just saying.
Wouldn't you love Rennie to be sitting in the back of that
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I did. I really thought about that.
This dude
Wow.
actually got up and told this shit to people?
Oh, there's a
one?
conference.
Yeah. Oh, he does it all the time. He came
Yeah,
up
you
to...
got-
It was like you
Jesus,
could feel the
tap
crazy.
dancing Christ.
Yeah.
I was like,
Barb
Wait
and
a minute.
Gabby,
Wait,
this is bad.
squatching with Barb, Gabby, she's boots on the ground. Barb, she calls herself now.
Already in the
Did anybody
back.
tell them about
I don't care about Sasquatch in this goddamn mine. I mean, there's Sasquatch out there in the bush.
That's Les Brides.
Yeah.
I don't care about
Mr.
the Sasquatch in his fucking
Mr.
brain.
Love Vibes. He had
Anybody
something
tell
like
about Igor?
250 encounters, which is kind of saying you had 250 sexual encounters but never got laid.
His logic was, he was an amazing man. I'm not kidding you. What he's telling you right here is what happened in real life when you were around that guy. Oh my God, he was fun.
How about Igor and his phone call?
Yeah, I sat just like this. I sat just like this with Igor, like I'm sitting with you at that conference. It wasn't his turn yet, and I had gotten tired. I only waited for Mitchell Townsend because him and I were friends. Mitchell has one side that he does, and then the next day he does the woo side of him, and I didn't know that. And so, but he was the first person to pay us any attention at that conference. He was the only one that took the time to listen to me, and then he made the sound for me that I heard, so I know that he has dealt with this particular group up here. So, because only a few people know, I let them know what this thing sounded like, and Mitchell already knew, and he did it for me, and so that's how I trusted him, because he had dealt with. He said that male has always been aggressive, always. So, but yeah, that of all people, that he was the only one out of all those big time speakers, and that was the second largest event that they hold every year. Russell Accord holds his, and then the next one, and then you have the Squatch Fest.
The problem with the symposiums is they have too many of them too often now.
Yep.
When we had one every 5 years or so, that was something, you know. But now they have, well, geez, there's one this month in this place, and there's another one this month in that place.
I know, and I've missed them all. I haven't been to one yet. Of course, when I first started going, okay, I'm going to research this online. I'm never going
You go in the tables,
I'm not going to go
Sasquatch threw these rocks, $50 each.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Sasquatch poop. Sasquatch poop, $25 a piece. $25 for this little sample of Sasquatch. You don't even know what the hell that is. You don't know what that is.
I don't want to know what that is.
No, it's them sitting and just laughing like some asshole's gonna buy
You guys
this.
got me taking a picture of poop now. What the heck's going on?
Tristan Yolton has a bag of poop
I
that's
had
as
'em on
big
my
around as a Coke can.
It's the biggest shit, and he just takes it out of his freezer, dude.
Oh, that's
We told him, we were like, Tristan.
I just dropped that stuff in and basically stick it in with the.
Phone so it doesn't rattle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that all would have
If I'm
been
worried about
wonderful.
rain,
But then my
I'll
feet
just
start
put
backing
like a
up.
sandwich bag
Just
over
like that.
this and stuff that in.
Okay.
So I went off
And I'll
on
hang this up in
a
a
game
tree like
trail
this.
at the switchback and went way back out that way.
Yeah.
On that side?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, actually, did you go up a little berm, well-used berm area?
Got a little bit of forest camo.
Probably.
That's actually where we
Yeah.
did a lot of stuff out there. Did you find an apple, green apple?
No, I don't know if I went that far.
And it's nice
So I'll just hang that.
stick it flush and
Yeah.
people don't mess with it, they don't notice it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Well,
pretty.
I'll
It's second
find
growth up
I'll
there.
find a
They must
small
have left
tree.
this